afternoon, probably best suited for skating in Central Park, but we're across the river, and we are in for a cold one at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, we reach We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Detroit Lions and the New York Jets. Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. This defense for the Jets, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover. Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. They go play action now. Wilson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Mariota. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary. All of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Flushed out right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. The Jets had 4 and 9 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Wilson and Moore there for a Jets first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Play action. It's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. There he goes, right side. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Following the interception here, Mariota. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal, trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so that 3rd down coming up.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Play fake. Mariota. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Play action. Now Wilson. Being chased out left. And he's got his big tight end here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Now Wilson. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson, he'll get that one to Carter, complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Open man is Uzama. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 30.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Carter. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Coming up on 2nd and 7. To throw again is Wilson. Looking middle, and the ball is knocked out, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit, and number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Eluding the pressure right. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. Cooper's first catch, and good for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
A nice run on first down gets him 6 yards to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Swift. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down, Detroit. 16 yards on the pickup. They go play action. Mariota. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Carl Lawson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
On 2nd down, Swift. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. To throw is Mariota. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Here's Berrios. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Wilson. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Back deep, D.D. Westbrook. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Mariota to throw it. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll run right here with Swift. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Mariota. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it. What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. He's going to look deep for more. And that's caught inside the 35. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 1st down, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Pierce. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series because drives like that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. From the 6. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And they'll go right back to Pierce. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Now it's Wilson. Uncorks one for Davis. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Swift going to try up the middle. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 6 on the run. It'll be third down now with still a long way to go to get to the first down marker. Play action now. Mariota. Flush to his right. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. They will run straight ahead with Swift. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Right back to Swift again on second down, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. To throw, Mariota. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And his kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Wilson. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop it. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
On 2nd down, Mariota again. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On play action, Mariota. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Mariota to throw for it on 4th. He's got this complete to Williams. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd. After that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
Mariota again. Looking for Hawkinson, and he's got him. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Mariota looked to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was, and one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Wilson. That's complete to Pierce. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Mariota. Got his man. It's Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. From the gun, Mariota. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead. And now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up. And he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. He could only get a yard after all that. It's 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the return will stop right around the 25. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
From the gun, here's Swift. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Mariota now. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a jet touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that pick six a moment ago doesn't change things too much. They still seem pretty comfortable with a 3-possession fourth quarter lead. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. C.J. Mosley picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
51 yards on the ball. And they will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 27 yards there, a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game. Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game. Now a throw here to his running back, and he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson delivers another one to Pierce. And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Again, Wilson. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson from 6 yards away. And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Zuerlein connects on the extra point. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Throwing here, Mariota. That pass caught. It's Williams. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up? I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it. I did, didn't you? They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mariota. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mariota. That is caught. It's Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close. They're able to that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And they'll indeed take a knee. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. they take a knee. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Lions, the final 3 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.